Hello and welcome to Deus Ex Human Revolution as the director's cut. I'm joined by Matthew Lees.
Hello.
And yeah, the most interesting thing about this is that it's out on the Wii U.
Yeah, so obviously
it's about 2 years later than we may have expected.
It is a bit late, but there are some cool new features actually. I mean, obviously if you've got a Wii U, then some of the features you bought the Wii U for, this game apparently seems to use them well.
Yeah.
We'll come back to that in a little bit.
That's right, and it's a third-party game doing it, which is nice
surprising,
to
to say the least. Ubisoft have naturally given up on it, which is understandable considering the losses they probably made. So, but I think his first questions is, you know, the Wii U is kind of one of these weird consoles that bridges the gap between the next gen and current
that's right. So how does it compare to current gen, I guess? Well, here we've got both of these versions are the director's cut, which have seen a little bit of an improvement in lighting. But to be honest, the Wii U isn't shocking me quite as much as I would have liked.
I noticed there's some certainly less subtle effects on the Wii U version, like the smoke is more of an atmospheric thing on the 360 version. It's very subtle, whereas in the Wii U it's very pronounced. There's also weirdly kind of...
The lighting itself does seem quite different.
Yeah, it seems very different. It's clearly running on different tech. And it just seems generally that there's a lot less finesse on the Wii U version, a bit more bloom. And I noticed earlier, actually, on the windows, the quality of some of the transparent textures were a lot lower.
Yeah, well, there's actually a logo missing on that first window you see, which is kind of strange to see, to be honest.
So weirdly lacking fidelity then, which is a shame. But let's talk about new features.
However, it does, you know, kind of do what we wanted the Wii U to do with the second screen. If you can see there, the mini-map is nice and clear. It's taken off the screen, so you've got a less cluttered HUD, and it's really, really nice to have a big mini-map in front of you all the time.
Yeah.
And one of the other things that I really liked about using it is switching between the different menus, which are quite a few in Deus Ex, so inventory, skills, quest log, switches really, really quickly. And much quicker than going through the menus on.
That's cool. Being able to read logs and stuff as well on your screen.
Yeah, and the same with emails as well.
That's cool.
You can switch between. Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice little touch. But the stuff I really liked was the inventory management here, because just being able to drag those items around, read a little description, and have it all nice and clear on the screen in front of you is, it's weird. Menus shouldn't be exciting, and to most people they probably aren't, but this is what I want to see more.
Well, no, absolutely, and that's the thing, is when we first saw the Wii U gamepad, obviously, from a gamer's perspective, that was immediately what I thought about. I thought, ooh, Resident Evil 4 and System Shock 2
all that off the main screen and have
have it, like, reduce the clutter. And Smart Glass does that, right?
Yeah, and that's a good point about the director's cut, actually. These features will be compatible with the Vita and Smart Glass. We haven't been able to trial those yet, but I wonder how close it matches the Wii U gamepad. Obviously, you can have difference depending on what device you're using with Smart Glass, but the Vita's a powerful bit of kit. Smaller screen, but I wonder how close that compares. And yeah, you can see I'm hacking as well on this screen.
Is that optional?
No, you have to hack on the screen. And to be honest, you're about to lead me into one complaint I do have. I love the second screen. I hate that the scope comes up on the gamepad, because you're looking at the main screen, and I'll show you what it ends up looking like. So this is on your main display, and that's what you're given. You have to look down at the gamepad to look at your scope, which takes your attention away, and is bloody dreadful.
That's not good.
Second screen stuff, absolutely fantastic. Can't wait to see more of this done on the Wii U. Don't do that, please. Come on.
Yeah, however, I will say that actually one of the cool things about Deus Ex
Human Revolution. That one.
Thank you for helping me out with that.
There we are. You can see the comparison there.
Yeah, that's irritating. I mean, that's very irritating.
Yes.
But I will say that one of the things I love about this game is you don't have to play it like a shooter. And actually, when I played it, I kind of went for an almost entirely stealth-based hand-to-hand approach.
Yeah, I think a lot of people did, to be honest, because that was the stealthy approach, definitely. And
it felt more satisfying in this game, anyway.
And it was one of those games that let you go through the entire thing being non-lethal. You could stun and tranquilize, as I'm about to do here, your opponents, except for when you got to the boss fights.
Super stealthy Chris here.
Yeah. Look at the guy in the background about to fall out.
Oh.
He's like, wait.
Oh, I feel a bit weird. Oh, bugger.
Yeah, that's not the optimum way of doing it, but I like using a long-range weapon like that. And
I mean, it seems like this is an interesting version, because actually I do like a lot of the tablet stuff here. It's very smart. It just seems the shooting bit, that's kind of guffed it, which is a great shame.
Yeah, and here we are, we're talking about the boss fights before. Now, this is the original version, non-director's cut on the PC, so that ended up being throw a load of explosives at the big guy until he stops shooting you, which isn't the game.
No.
Now, with the director's cut, not just on the Wii U, this is the Xbox, PlayStation 3, PC, everything, they've tried to revamp it, and in this first boss fight, you can see that they've expanded the map that you're in, and if you come up here, you can kind of sneak through vents, and it gives you a few more options. Unfortunately, I don't think it's gone quite far enough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it's like you were saying
see,
to me about it. It seems like they've realised that they messed up the boss fights so much. They've tried to make them a bit better, but it feels like maybe because we're still so annoyed at how rubbish they were,
more.
we expected a better update.
So the option in this boss fight, the big option is that if you have the ability to hack turrets, then you can use this console up here, which you're not being shot at right now, which is a change for this boss fight, and you can tell the turret to kill him, which is great, but I didn't know that I needed that, and so I didn't have the turrets unlocked, which is, that's fine, that's part of Deus Ex, but because of that, my end experience with this boss fight didn't change enormously. There was more places to hide. I could go in vents and I could hack into things and get some more weapons, but in the end, I had to go for the classic throw explosive barrels at him and hope they stop shooting you.
For those of you who haven't played this or don't remember as much, like this boss very much revolved around quickly throwing explosive barrels at the guy as soon as you could, and it was you either killed him in about 30 seconds, or you were probably going to die. It seemed to be the way I remember doing it. Anyway,
here's another console that's on the ground floor as well, but has the same effect. Yeah, and you're quite right. The Deus Ex was, a lot of people like yourself played it as a stealthy game, and it, you wanted to avoid enemies whenever possible, and then you meet this boss, and it was the weirdest moment. And it turns out later on we found out they outsourced.
Yeah, they outsourced the sections, which is obviously in retrospect an extremely misguided thing to do.
This is how I defeated him.
That's how I defeated him on the
grenade,
360 version.
Explosive, and then poison gas. And
just gas him.
Considering they completely revamped the boss fights in their words, well, I ended up doing almost exactly what I did the first time round, which is disappointing, to be honest.
How do you spec for shooting, though?
No, not really. I'd spec for hacking, but just not the turrets, unfortunately. So I had all my hacking was up to date, except I couldn't control turrets.
That bit. Well, that's a shame. Having said that, I mean, if you've not played Deus Ex Human Revolution yet, then this looks like quite a cool version.
Yeah, and to be honest,
but only providing you're not the sort of person who wants to play as a shooter, because that shooting thing looks like a nightmare.
Yeah. And to be honest, the gamepad, I'm not convinced by the twin sticks on that. I just trying to aim, I found really difficult. I don't play a lot of the Wii U, to be honest.
Yeah,
the director's cut is nice. It's got the Missing Link DLC included. A few written tutorials, commentary. It's a nice overall package. It hasn't changed the game. Director's cut is a weird kind of term to use for a video game in the first place. It's more like a Game of the Year edition.
Well, that's it. I guess it's one of those things where it's like, if you haven't already played this game and you haven't got a high-end PC, which looks really nice on, and you've got a Wii U, this feels very much like the sort of game where if you've got a Wii U and you've been bemoaning the fact that you haven't got any games to play on it, and you haven't played this game, if you meet all those criteria, then this is like pretty good.
Yes, a proper game on the Wii U that does second screen stuff.
But chances are, that if you are a Wii U owner, you probably already know about that. It's because there are no bloody games on the Wii U.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. It's not our fault. We wish we could change the world, but the world isn't fair.
It's not.
And that's it.
That's the director's cut and the Wii U version.
Yay!
Goodbye.
Bye.